It's no secret that Dubai and Abu Dhabi are not the best of friends. Of course, they'll stand by each other in times of crisis, like when Dubai was on the brink of bankruptcy during the 2008 financial crisis, and the Central Bank of Abu Dhabi lent out billions of dollars to Dubai to continue operation, which they have yet to pay off. However, aside from that, there is no doubt this endless rivalry between the two emirates to represent the UAE on the world stage. Just take a look at them. For instance, Dubai has Emirates and Abu Dhabi has Etihad. Similarly, Dubai has the Palm Island while Abu Dhabi has Zaya Nurai. And of course, they both have endless lists of outstanding hotels and tourist attractions. And this isn't a recent rivalry either. Abu Dhabi and Dubai have been trying to outdo each other well before the UAE was even formed in 1971. Dubai and Abu Dhabi have seen this rivalry ever since they were tribes led by various ruling families. Considering this, when the UAE was formed, how did Dubai let Abu Dhabi become the capital? Well, the answer is that they didn't. The UAE was formed in December of 1971 after Britain left the area after deciding it wasn't a good financial investment in March of that year. In need of a union for protection and stability, 6 emirates including Abu Dhabi and Dubai combined on December 2, 1971. Later on February 10, 1972, the 7th emirate, Ras Al Khaimah, joined the federation, and these are the 7 emirates that make up the UAE today. Though all of these emirates had a degree of rivalry, the strongest was between Abu Dhabi and Dubai. As they couldn't come to a decision and the other emirates feared overpowering, it was decided that none of the emirates would become the capital. The UAE planned to create a neutral city between Dubai and Abu Dhabi, similar to how Canberra was chosen as Australia's capital between Sydney and Melbourne. The capital was to be called Al Karama and was to be built on land forfeited by both Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Even today, you can see remnants of this decision. If you take a look at the telephone area codes in the UAE, you'll see that there is no city that has the telephone code 01. Abu Dhabi is 02 and Dubai is 04. This is because 01 was reserved for the new capital, Al Karama. Another fun fact is that there is no area code 08. This code was actually reserved for Qatar, but they backed out of joining the federation and formed their own country. Not only this, but the plan to create a new capital city called Al Karama was clearly detailed in the UAE Constitution in Article 9. The Constitution puts out 3 major clauses surrounding this issue. The first reads, "The capital of the Union shall be established in an area allotted to the Union by the Emirates of Abu Dhabi and Dubai on the borders between them, and it shall be given the name Al Karama." The second clause reads, "There shall be allocated in the Union budget for the first year the amount necessary to cover the expenses of technical studies and planning for the construction of the capital." However, construction work shall begin as soon as possible and shall be completed in not more than 7 years from the date of entry into force of this constitution. So clearly, this was not expected to take a long time and should have been completed by the 1980s. The final clause reads, "Until the construction of the Union capital is complete, Abu Dhabi shall be the provisional headquarters of the Union." On top of this, Abu Dhabi was only allowed to be the capital for a maximum of 5 years, at which point the capital would be passed to another city if Al Karama was still incomplete. Abu Dhabi was initially chosen as they were the most financially stable due to their rich oil reserves. As you can guess, Al Karama was never constructed and Abu Dhabi remained the capital, and the reason for this is actually quite anticlimactic. You see, the ruler of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Zayed, had been working on transforming Abu Dhabi into a forest. And as a result, he had been planting thousands of trees, many of which had fallen into the new demarcated zone of Al Karama. Originally, the plan was that Al Karama construction would begin after the trees in the region that would be chopped down were equalized by replanting trees in other regions. But this never came to fruition and construction just kept getting delayed. While this was a setback, the key reason Al Karama construction was not a priority was because Abu Dhabi didn't become a dominant capital like the Emirates feared. In fact, Abu Dhabi ruled exactly according to the constitution, which gave the Emirates most of the power. Even today, the federal government of the UAE only holds 1/3 of the power. The federal government only controls defense, foreign affairs, currency management, and communications. Everything else is left for the Emirates to decide independently. This is why each emirate is almost like an independent nation, just without borders. Clearly, the formation of the UAE was primarily for political and financial purposes, and as Abu Dhabi respected this and didn't overstep their powers, other emirates didn't really mind Abu Dhabi staying as the capital. On top of this, the UAE was growing exponentially within the first decade because they were helping each other grow, which replaced their initial unease with a long-lasting bond between each other. Eventually, as construction was never started, in 1996, the UAE Supreme Council added an amendment to the constitution, which removed all provisions of Article 9 and replaced it with a new clause that declared Abu Dhabi to be the new capital of the UAE. And that's how Dubai, as well as the other emirates, let Abu Dhabi become the capital. What's ironic is that originally demarcated area of Karama is actually becoming a world center very soon, as this is very close to where the Dubai 2020 Expo will be held. Anyways, if you guys thought this video explained the story of how Abu Dhabi became the capital, then make sure to drop a like, and consider subscribing if you'd like to see more questions just like this one logically answered. But until then, I'm Hari, and I'll see you guys on the next one.